In this episode, I'm going to share with you a very simple but logical framework that's going to help you set and smash your goals. It's a framework I've used over and over again with our Built to Last members and myself when it comes to setting goals, and not only setting goals in your life, but making sure you stay healthy alongside these goals. More importantly, relating how being healthy in fantastic shape improves your goals. You may have done similar formulas if you're somebody who journals a lot or just self-reflects a lot on a weekly, monthly, or even yearly basis. But this framework I'm going to share with you today, and some of the questions I'm going to attach to this episode, I guarantee will help give you more clarity on what you're trying to achieve, who it's for, what's the emotional driving force behind that, and more importantly, how you can manage you more effectively to improve these goals or improve the chances of you achieving these goals. What you need to do, and I encourage you to put pen to paper on this, and if you are someone who wants to take this seriously, I do have a PDF that will happily send across to you that has a clear visual of the things I'm going to cover today. And that is a clarity life assessment chart. So you're going to have 5 columns. So if you're listening to this, of course, try and visualize this. The first column is going to say the word area. And underneath that, you don't have to do all of these, of course, because you can get as granular or not with these things when it comes to area of life. But what I encourage you to do is, underneath that first column of area, write health and body. That's the top one. Underneath that, you've got relationships. Underneath that, family. Underneath that, friends. Underneath that, social and fun. Underneath that, finances. Underneath that, community and giving, or maybe charity. Underneath that, mission/career. Underneath that, emotional, mental, and personal growth. Now that gets really granular. If you wanted to simplify it even more when it comes to setting your goals, you can literally break it down into 4 instead. So the 4 areas of life that you can simplify that, if that's a little bit too heavy, what I've just shared, is personal, professional, physical, and emotional. This is what we did at our Built to Last event. Just to simplify even more, the 4 areas, but I know some people like to get a bit more granular. The next column, you want at the top, vision, or in brackets, goal/target. Next, each of those areas on the next column, write down what your key goal or target is in each of those areas. What is your personal goal? What is your professional goal? What is your physical goal? And what is your emotional goal? The next column, at the top, why is this important? Why is this important? Anyone can set goals, but ask yourself, how many times have you set a goal and not followed through, even though you wanted to, but you just forgot why it was important in the first place? I've seen this over and over again, especially with people who struggle to stay in shape or stay healthy for 12 months of the year. They forget why it's important. I'm pretty sure if you just take some time when you set a personal goal, there's a deeper meaning behind that. Same with your professional goal or financial goal. What is the why behind that? Your physical health goal, what is the why behind that? Same with your emotional goal. How do you want to feel and why is that important? If we can't identify our driving force behind a goal, you can know what to do, have a plan, have a system, but you'll never follow through. So I encourage you to get really granular on what is the real reason why I want to achieve that goal. motivation alone doesn't last. Your discipline will, if you have cemented into your DNA why it's important to hit that goal. So just to recap, one column, area of life or category of life, whatever word resonates. Then write down the different areas of your life. The next column, what is the goal, vision, target? Again, which is your preferred word, doesn't matter, in that given area. The next column, why is it important? Then the next column after that, have at the top, who else benefits? When you know who else benefits, other than yourself, you are far more likely to follow through on achieving that goal. More importantly, you're far more likely to do what you need to do to achieve that goal. But who else benefits other than yourself? It stacks more emotional value and more than likely emotional consequence if you don't follow through by identifying who you're doing it for. For many people, it's likely to be their wife or their husband or their children or somebody else important. If you run a team, maybe it's important that you hit a certain goal so they've got a better quality of life too. But if you look at the third and fourth column I've just shared with you, when you have a clear why and a clear who behind a goal, I promise you that will be the thing that carries you through and make you do what you do, make you do what you know you should do, even when you don't want to. The fifth column, and this is for me what helps me and all of our best performing clients stay in shape, healthy, energized, and fit year round. The fifth column at the top, write the words how health/body, confidence, fitness helps you achieve that goal. So whatever area of life you're breaking down, you've got your goal, you've got the why, you've got the who, but how will being fit, confident, energized, in shape help you achieve that goal? It helps you relate looking after you to achieving your goals. And I promise you, that will make you stay more consistent than you can ever imagine, especially when you've got weeks and months when you naturally want to down tools or eat shit or drink too much or be off it with your training or not move as much. If you can stack more emotional value and deeper meaning on the benefit of being in fantastic shape, you will train more consistently, you'll move more, you'll eat healthier, you'll go to bed on time, and you'll drink more water. All the core drivers that are required to get and stay in shape. But a lot of people, the reason why they fail with their goals is they don't relate how looking after them, their health, their energy, their confidence will help them achieve their goals. And if I look at the clients who tend to follow through and smash their professional goals more consistently, they're the ones that look after themselves and their health, especially when it comes to staying physically fit and energized. I'm sure as an entrepreneur, business owner, or someone in a high power position in business, energy becomes a lot more valuable as you get older, when you've got more responsibility and you've got a family to try and be vibrant with and present with after a long day at work. But if you're not looking after yourself, irrelevant of your professional success and your bank balance, often your family are going to get the dregs if you're not looking after you. So that framework, just to recap, first column, area of your life, and I'm happy to send the PDF of the one that's got more than the 4 areas. I've also got a framework if you only want to focus on the 4 areas, as in personal, professional, physical, and emotional. Second column, break down your actual goal in that area, then one thing, the one goal that is just a must do this year, or 2025, sorry. The next column is why is it important? The next column is who else benefits? And the last column is, how does being healthy, fit, confident, basically in shape, help you support those goals? And I promise you, when you've got a strong why, you know the who, and you know how looking after you is going to help you hit that goal. Your chances of success and hitting more of your goals will go through the roof. 4 questions. If you are someone that likes to reflect even more, and even if you wanted to narrow down, like not even the 4 areas, but just what is your actual number 1 life goal, is this. What is your number 1 life goal this year, and why does it matter? And what are the potential consequences of poor health and low energy on your goals? And how will a strong mindset, healthy body, and high energy help you achieve your goals? Here's what I do daily. Because after the weeks and the months have passed, certainly after the first quarter, it's easy to not look at this clarity chart. It's easy to forget these things that I've shared. But every single day, I remind myself, whether it's through journaling or talking to myself in the mirror, who needs me on my A game? I ask myself, why am I doing this? Whether it's a project, a task, a session, and who do I need to be? When you can get clear and take responsibility for who needs you on your A game, take responsibility for why you're actually doing a task or not, because so many people just waste time and do bullshit tasks instead of focusing on what they need to do. And then lastly, when you get clear and look yourself in the mirror every single day and say, who do I need to be today? You are far more likely to implement the habits aligned to who you are trying to be. And ultimately, your success over the next calendar year is going to come down to how well you behave and what you actually do and follow through with. So if you would like any of the frameworks from today, please drop me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn and I'll send it across to you. And if you are not looking forward to this year, or you don't have 100% certainty that your current way of managing your health, your mindset, your training, your nutrition, your lifestyle, you don't have 100% certainty that that's not going to create the outcomes you want, this is what me and my team can help with at Built to Last. We remove the guesswork. Full transparency, I don't want to waste your money or our time if you invest in us. As you've seen from our results, and if you haven't, please check them out. We know what we're doing, but we want to work with people who want to change. So if you want to change and you don't want another year of mediocre standards or nearly hitting your goals, you know where we are. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.